This is a no-nonsense, concise, zero-bullshit comparison of DJI Neo, Potensic Atom, and DJI Mini 4K. We've also included Holystone drones in this comparison. This is the only video that will give you a clear, direct answer without being diplomatic and saying, it depends. If you appreciate this, please like and subscribe. It really means a big deal to us. Also, watch the full video, as there is critical information in the middle and the end where we share common mistakes people make when buying budget drones. Let's dive in. First up, the DJI Neo. Let me emphasize this. There is no drone out there right now that even comes close to its sheer value for money. At about $200, the Neo is practically rewriting what budget means in the drone world. Let's start with stabilization, which should be the biggest deal when buying a drone. I feel that a drone with shaky footage is merely a toy. DJI Neo uses a single-axis mechanical gimbal combined with electronic stabilization modes like rock steady and horizon balancing. This makes your footage look like it was shot on a far pricier rig, even if you're changing direction quickly or catching light breezes mid-flight. Sure, the Potensic Atom advertises a 3-axis gimbal, but without advanced electronic corrections, its footage can't match the Neo's buttery smooth quality. In fact, the footage from Potensic can't even come remotely close to DJI Neo in terms of stabilization and smoothness. As far as low-light conditions are concerned, the Neo's half-inch sensor might not be Hollywood-grade, like the Mini 4 Pro or Mavic 3, but it handles dusk and soft evening light spectacularly well, delivering 12-megapixel photos and 4K 30 frames per second video that remain crisp and authentic. The video you're seeing on the screen right now is what we shot just before sunset with our DJI Neo. Now tell me that's not absolutely crazy for a $200 drone. Moreover, intelligent shooting modes are where the Neo pulls off something close to magic. It offers AI-powered subject tracking and quick shots like droney, circle, and helix. This means you can focus on your action while the drone follows and films you autonomously. You don't even need to control the drone through the remote or your mobile. You can control it through voice commands, which is a total game changer for daily life use like taking it for a run or biking session. You can ask the drone to simply follow you, and it will start doing just that. This feature is not even available in DJI's $1,000 drones. Compare that to the DJI Mini 4K, which, despite costing more, doesn't even have a basic follow mode, forget voice control. The DJI Mini 4K cannot follow you at all, which in my opinion is a big drawback. So, for all practical purposes, DJI Neo is the perfect budget drone for 90% of casual users who don't really need the complexity and high-end features of a $1,000 drone. There are a few important points that we'll bring up when we talk about DJI Mini 4K later in the video. But for now, let's quickly wrap up DJI Neo with a few downsides. DJI Neo is not the drone for you if you plan to use the drone in the woods or any area with a lot of obstacles. Obstacle avoidance on the Neo is basic. There are no dedicated sensors, just visual algorithms leveraging its camera, and hoping that when it's following you through AI tracking, it won't run into any major obstacles. So if you buy the DJI Neo, ensure that you get the $20 DJI insurance called DJI Refresh, so that you can easily get a replacement for 20% of the cost of a new drone. However, if you are going to use your drone in the woods, I wouldn't recommend Neo. In that case, you should get the DJI Air 3 or the Mini 4 Pro, but keep in mind that those models cost 5 to 7 times more. Moreover, the Follow Me mode on DJI Neo cannot track fast-moving objects like cars. So if you wanted a drone that can follow your car on a scenic drive, this is not the one. And it should also be mentioned that due to being an ultra-lightweight drone, it cannot fly in windy conditions. However, I believe the Neo is still pulling off a near miracle at $200, and its performance is shockingly close to what you'd expect from a mid-tier $1,000 drone. This video is not sponsored in any way, so my excitement for the price at which you get this drone is genuine. You can check the latest price through the link in the description below. Next, the Potensic Atom. On paper, it comes with a 3-axis mechanical gimbal, which sounds great, but the quality of the stabilization is awful in comparison to what DJI offers across its models. So I simply don't get it when some influencers try to sell Potensic Atom like it somehow comes close to DJI. I feel that the only way Potensic Atom can come close to any DJI drone is when the influencer is paid for saying that. I know that's a mean thing to say, but for me, a drone that produces shaky video footage is completely useless, because it looks childish, and it's not something that you'd enjoy watching later or sharing on Instagram. However, that's just my opinion. If you're not as crazy about image stabilization, Potensic is a decent entry-level option. The video quality itself is usable, and the low-light shots are better than all Holystone and Hover Air models, even though the low-light footage is fairly grainy. It can also operate in more windy conditions than the DJI Neo, which might be important for some. But keep in mind that this drone is almost twice as expensive as DJI Neo. But anyway, drones are hard to make, and budget drones are even harder to make. So despite all the negatives, Potensic Atom is still worth mentioning in any budget drone comparison. It comes with some great intelligent shooting modes like pull away, rocket, circle, spiral, and boomerang that beginners can use to add variety to their shots, but these don't come close to the Neo's intelligent tracking features. If you want smooth, cinematic footage without spending a fortune, the Atom might leave you wanting more, especially after witnessing the Neo's capabilities at half the price. And it also has no obstacle avoidance, not even the basic AI tracking one like the DJI Neo. Moving on, I wanted to add Holystone HS720G and HS360E to this comparison, but after spending considerable time researching and watching the footage of Holystone drones, I was thoroughly unimpressed. The tragically shaky footage and the bland colors make it look like you attached your 90s Kodak camera on a toy drone. It's not bad, it's useless in my opinion, so don't buy a Holystone drone unless you literally want a toy. These $200 drones had a market when all DJI drones costed at least $500. But that has now changed with the recent launch of DJI Neo. Now the real comparison is between the DJI Mini 4K and DJI Neo. Even though Mini 4K is pricier than the Neo, you can't just tell it to lock onto you and capture your every move. So my personal opinion is that the DJI Neo is the better choice for 90% of the people who want a simple and user-friendly drone with a follow me mode that produces exceptional 4K video at an unbelievable $200 price point. However, although the Mini 4K does not have a follow me mode, it is still a better option for professionals looking for an entry-level budget drone. Obviously, the exception is vloggers, who would still prefer the DJI Neo since it can seamlessly follow them around. But for amateur filmmakers or travel YouTubers, the DJI Mini 4K is a much more appropriate choice. The 18-minute flight time of DJI Neo would be extremely limiting for professionals or people who want longer footage, when compared with the 31 minutes of DJI Mini 4K. Most people who end up buying the DJI Neo need at least 2 batteries because of this. But the 31 minutes offered by DJI Mini 4K is extremely generous within this price range. The DJI Mini 4K also offers downward obstacle avoidance, so it is much safer to take it to places with trees and other obstacles, even though the obstacle avoidance is not omnidirectional like the more expensive DJI drones. DJI Mini 4K has a maximum flight range of 10 kilometers, which is phenomenal. On the other hand, in the absence of sensor-based obstacle avoidance, it would be practically impossible to fly DJI Neo beyond 1 to 2 kilometers, even though DJI quotes a maximum of 7 kilometers. This, I believe, is a complete bullshit metric because even the battery time won't permit the DJI Neo to get that far. Moreover, DJI Mini 4K can take a lot of wind, and DJI Neo can take almost none. The low light performance of DJI Mini 4K is slightly better than DJI Neo, although the difference is negligible. Both drones can do a decent job capturing sunset and sunrise shots, but you cannot expect these drones to be usable at night. They simply won't work and produce really grainy footage. For good night videography with a drone, you should expect to spend upwards of $1,000. When it comes to common mistakes people make buying their first drone, let's keep it real. It's way too easy to get blinded by flashy features you'll never actually use. Maybe that fancy 8K hyperlapse mode sounds exciting, but if you're just looking to capture smooth, steady clips of your weekend hikes, do you really need it? Hence, my final recommendation to most people looking for a highly affordable budget drone for casual use would be to simply get the DJI Neo and enjoy the fact that you can capture 4K Ultra HD video footage for $200, something that only helicopters with movie cameras could do barely 15 years ago. We spend a lot of time researching for each video, so you don't have to. A quick like and subscribe helps us stay afloat. We'll be super grateful and send lots of good karma your way. See you in the next one.